And finally tonight, here at InfoWars Nightly News, we have some incredibly good news for you. It was a decade ago that the film Super Size Me came out, and it changed the way the world, not just the United States, saw fast food, because it was a catalyst telling us what we already knew, that this garbage was full of addictive additives and was basically nothing but chemical, biological weapons being deployed against the people of this planet. The MSG, the GMOs, the aspartame, you name it, linked to all sorts of brain tumors and health problems, is now something that most Americans are aware of, and the numbers show it. And it's a great example of how voting with our dollars or voting with our decisions can change the world. Let's go over some of the news. Out today, McDonald's profits this quarter are down over 30% on sales slumps, and they were down the last few quarters as well, showing basically a collapse is taking place. But it's not just McDonald's. The CDC is reporting that Americans are changing the way they eat, trying to avoid fast food, preparing their own meals, and getting healthier and healthier. That's a story with the headline, Americans' eating habits take a healthier turn. Study finds working age adults consume fewer calories and eat less fast food. And these headlines don't come to you from places like Infowars.com that have been exposing this for decades. It comes to you from Forbes and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. There is a collapse, not just in confidence in the government, but in major corporations. And don't forget who's on the board of McDonald's. Bill Gates, the eugenicist, and Monsanto. These are people literally weaponizing food, but the rebellion against GMO and all of these additives has now reached an explosive level. And it doesn't help McDonald's, one of the biggest heads on this GMO hydra, that a few months ago, they got caught in China with their biggest supplier shipping in chickens that had been rotten for 15 days and chemically treating them. That's why they lobbied to radiate all the meat. That's why they lobbied to allow things like silicone in their nuggets, because they need to feed you something that's basically rotten, so that they need to spray chemicals and radiation on it so that the bacteria themselves die, but you're still getting all of those toxins. And if we can wake up to McDonald's and Coca-Cola, who's also collapsing in their profits, then the entire globalist pyramid of weaponized food will implode. When Super Size Me came out a decade ago, and then 4 years ago, films like Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, the industries attacked them, but it only added credibility to them. And that's the good news. The establishment demonizes alternative media. They demonize true consumer advocates like the folks that produce Super Size Me. They attack that whole system, and it only backfires on them. And when the nanny state comes in and wants to tax fast food or ban how big a soft drink can be, people reject that as well, knowing that it's government only trying to capitalize on a wave of awakening and to use it as a system of more control. Michelle Obama doesn't say don't eat GMO. She doesn't say don't eat aspartame or MSG. She just says eat basically prison-style food that's deployed down from other major corporations. So that itself is another scam. And it's not just films like Super Size Me that have exposed this. We have interviewed hundreds of guests and had tens of millions of views on YouTube where we break down the secret history of food and how it's been weaponized and what's going on. And countless others like Dr. Mercola have exposed it as well. And you have exposed it on your Facebook and your Twitter and to your friends and family, and we're winning. 15 years ago, you couldn't find organic food on store shelves. And if you could, it was incredibly expensive. But as more people began to buy it, more people got into the industry, more quality and more choice came in, and the price is lowering until now it's hard to find in major supermarkets stuff that isn't organic. And of course, there's some problems with it and some fraud, but people are now researching that. This is all part of a process of when people start to care and start to research, it raises the quality of living, it raises the quality in the society. And it's an issue that transcends left and right. And of course, the fact that these grassroots films could have such a huge effect and change the world shows the power of modern Paul Revere's, whether it's in food safety and quality, or whether it's in the Second Amendment, or national sovereignty issues, or the military saying no to backing al-Qaeda and ISIS against Assad last year, we are seeing the conscience of the world really awaken. Finally, though, you've got to beware the empire, because they're going to strike back. And when I go see a movie, or I listen to the radio, or watch television, I am seeing McDonald's in what I believe is its death throes come out and say, be a millionaire, be a billionaire. Why? We've got the greatest deal ever. People in top hats are powerful and cool. You know, all you poor people that come in to get our food, well, guess what? You could be a millionaire. And look at all these Hollywood stars. They're eating McDonald's, and, you know, you can make millions in this monopoly game. Come get involved. Well, the consumerists and others have broken it down, and you have a very, very low chance of actually even winning any money. And they say basically nobody will ever end up being a millionaire. So they've gone into what Max Kaiser calls the casino gulag model, where you've got to go in there and buy their garbage food made up of rotten chicken and GMOs and you name it, while Bill Gates gets rich off of it and Monsanto laughs at you. And you're there like a gambler, hoping that when you buy this garbage that you've got a chance to win some money. So it's just like lottery tickets target the poorest people, the most ignorant people. McDonald's is now moving in to targeting the welfare moms and the get-rich-quick people that have absolutely no hope of a future and are now looking to McDonald's as a giant casino in the sky. This is so dystopic that I don't think the mind of Kurt Vonnegut could have even come up with it. So the good news is people are leaving these facilities en masse. We're creating a new, healthier culture. Government's trying to hijack it with the nanny state, but that's failing. The bad news is they're weaponizing their agenda. And as far as I'm concerned, McDonald's is even worse than payday loan operations and loan sharks. They are the bottom of the barrel. And so be sure and spread this video to everybody out there and speak up against McDonald's and others and tell people that what McDonald's is doing is despicable. And it's important for people that work inside McDonald's, that is the model of this corporate dictatorship, this scientific dictatorship, this weaponized food and weaponized culture, that they need to decide which side they're on and not serve this evil and continue to leak information out so we know exactly what is in this so-called food. Because in my opinion, in my view, stuff in a porta potty is better for you than the stuff you get at McDonald's. All right, well, that's the analysis and breakdown tonight. We're teleprompter-free news. We go off real research and real history. If McDonald's wants to reform itself, that would be great. But offering grapes, with the Happy Meals isn't going to do it. Not as long as Bill Gates is at the head of their board. As long as Monsanto is involved and Bill Gates are involved, they work for Satan as far as I can tell. All right, I'm Alex Jones signing off for InfoWars Nightly News. And don't forget, if you're watching this transmission, you are the resistance.